Test, test. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Good morning, everyone. The 357 District Court will call its docket set for today, Tuesday, April the 5th, 2022 at 8 o'clock. Civil hearing starting with 2019 DCL 5045. Luis Ernesto Juarez Jr. and Griselda Martinez, Mr. Villarreal or Mr. Palacios.
Morning, Your Honor. Mario Palacios here for the defendant.
Good morning, Your Honor. Mike Trevino on behalf of the plaintiffs.
Okay, this is a
We had a joint motion for continuance, Judge, that we had filed. We had a set for hearing this morning.
And a separate trial on next Monday, Your Honor.
This is a 2-year-old case. What is it? Why are we taking so long to get to trial on this one?
Your Honor, we've already conducted mediation and all the discovery necessary to proceed to trial. My clients are currently living in Michigan at this time, Your Honor. That's where they're working. I was respectfully requesting a brief continuance in order to give them time to get their affairs in order and to make travel arrangements to come back to Brownsville for the trial. If the court would be so gracious, and hopefully if you would be able to set a preferential trial setting in which we can proceed definitively on a date after that reset, if possible, Your Honor.
And Judge, if I may, that was my understanding in speaking with Mr. Trevino in the days leading up to the filing of the joint motion for continuance. I understand that plaintiffs are not available. And I'm okay, Judge, with a, if the court would graciously allow, I'm okay with a short, brief continuance of it. Nothing like, we're not talking months out. I think from my understanding after talking to Mr.
What are they
Trevino.
doing in Michigan, Mr. Trevino?
I'm so sorry, Your Honor.
What are they doing in Michigan?
They are residents there now, Your Honor. That's where they work.
They live over there?
They have moved over there, essentially, yes, Your Honor. Last time I spoke with them, they said they're residents there now.
And this is set for trial when?
This coming Monday, April 11th, Your Honor.
And why is it that they can't be here in April, from here from Monday to Monday?
They just need to make
Prohibits them from being here at that time.
They asked for just some additional time so they can make arrangements with their employer and also for travel arrangements so they can come from Michigan back to Brownsville, Your Honor.
They were not aware of this trial date?
I had previously advised them of the trial date, Your Honor. Of course, as you know, the courts, sometimes they go and sometimes they don't.
I think when it came up, Judge, that's why we had filed this continuance motion a couple weeks ago in light of the situation that the plaintiffs were in, Judge. And so that's why we were kind of back and forth on trying to see if
You guys are wasting my jury. I make preparations that you guys, I haven't heard from you, so I requested juries. So you're wasting my jury. And you're not allowing anybody else to go to trial. Give me 30 days and put it on top of the rack here, the first one to go. 16th of May.
Yeah, Judge.
Yeah. What? Yes. Announcement May 13th.
Right, Your Honor. At 8 a.m. as well for the announcements?
Well, the announcement's at 8 o'clock. The trial is at around 8:30 because that's by the time the jury will be ready for you guys.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Anything else?
Would you like us to submit an order resetting the trial date, Your Honor, or
Would
will?
you like us to keep it clean? Yes, that would be nice.
Yes, Your Honor, we'll do.
We'll do, Judge.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Your Honor. That's all that I have before your court. May I be excused?
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much, Your Honor. You have a great day.
Stay safe.
We have, hold on, guys. We have, my coordinator says we have motions pending, motions to strike and motion, or have they been resolved, or what's the deal there? Do I have to rule on them?
There is a pending motion to strike defendant's expert.
Angelino Young and,
Barberry.
Remain, yes, Your Honor.
is that still viable? Is that still need ruling?
Yeah, yes, Your Honor, at this time.
All right, well, I'll issue a written ruling on this. Let me read it. I haven't read it. So I'll
Thank
read
you
it
very-
and I'll issue a written ruling on it.
thank you
Okay,
very much, Your Honor.
thank you.
If I may, I know he submitted a ruling. We haven't had any hearing on it, but would you like for me to submit a response to it? I think he plaintiff filed this motion.
Yeah, I would think you would respond to anything he files, Mr. Palacios, but yeah, if you have a response, you need to file it.
And I'll submit my response this morning, Judge. I thought we might have a hearing on it, but I realized that Mr. Trevino had filed his motion on Friday, April 1.
Okay, well,
So I was just gonna argue, was it?
I'll wait to rule it until tomorrow then.
Okay, I'll go ahead and file my response, Judge.
All right, sir. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Your Honor.
Okay. All right. Has Mr. Cornejo filed a response in a summary judgment? Can you check?
Do you want to sign back in at 9, Alejandro?
But he likes to be here early. Why does he, does his mug on the screen bother you or what?
No, because other courts start at 8:30.
Oh, who?
The 107th.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, because he had a bucket going in his house. Well, Mr. Alejandro knows that he needs to take care of business. We're not until 9, Alejandro.
You're muted, Alejandro.
Hey, Cindy's being so honorary this morning, but I'd love to have you on the screen. I enjoy your mug personally, but I can't help what my co-reporter's activities are, whether she, obviously it bothers her because I don't want to say, hey, how you doing? You're doing all right. No, you need to get off the screen and come back at 9. I mean, that's pretty dry, Mr. Solis. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for the treatment you're receiving at the hands of my trusty court reporter this morning.
I like how you change what I say. I said, if you want to log back in at 9, you can. Not get off the screen, come back in at 9.
Well, after that terse statement, she added a little sugar at the end, if you want.
You're so silly.
Okay. See you at 9 for your
Okay.
request, Cindy.
Morning, TC1.
Good morning.
Our criminal docket doesn't start till 9, so I don't know if you want to stay on or if you want to log back in at 9.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Norma.
Alejandra. Ale.
Hey Norma.
Mande, mija.
Oye, Norma, on the case from yesterday on Larry Castaneda,
Ajá.
he has 2 counts. What did he get on, did he
It
get
was, yeah, it's the 18 months on the
with
state
the
jail. The 18 months on the state jail and the 2 years TDC on
but
the.
that was on the new one, no, Norma?
Mande.
On the subsequent arrest on the state jail, he got the 18
No,
months?
bueno, ¿cómo se llama? And where he's on probation, he has 2 counts.
Yes.
Mhm.
So he got 2 years TDC on
The felony.
the felony, and then on the state jail, he got the 18 months also?
18 months, yes.
Oh, okay, 18 months. Okay, I got it. I was getting confused with that one. I was like, did he get it on the subsequent, the state jail?
Sí, también, o sea,
También
todo
18
parejo. Ajá, yeah, it was all parejo.
Okay, all right, awesome. I just wanted to clarify that because I thought it was 2 years on the ones that he was on probation, on the state jail, on the felony, but it was on, and then it was 18 months.
Sí.
Okay, awesome. Thank you, Norma.
Okay.
Good morning, everyone. The 357 District Court.
Morning, Judge.
Morning.
Good morning.
Morning. All right. 357 District Court is now in session to call its criminal docket set for today at 9 o'clock in the morning, Tuesday, April the 5th, 2022, starting with 2021 DCR 523, State of Texas versus Ruben Sandoval. (2020 DCR 906, State of Texas versus Hector Quiroga, and 2021 DCR 1208 and 2021 DCR 1466, all on the State of Texas versus Hector Quiroga. Mr. De La Fuente. Mr. Delgadillo, 2021 DCR Evan Salinas, that's going to be a plea?
Well, Your Honor, we are set for a plea this morning. However, Mr. Salinas called me yesterday afternoon.
Is he on the screen, Mr. Salinas?
asked if he could quit. He is. He's there with a mask on and the short hair. He asked if we can switch the plea back to the 5 years deferred, which was offered. And so I don't know if you're on the plea paperwork that was submitted. I crossed out the 5 years deferred and I put the 2 years state jail, TDC. But if Your Honor would still proceed with the 5 years deferred, I think we're set. Otherwise, if we can get a reset so I can go sign them up again with the.
Well, I don't know. I don't know. Is Aranda, is the 5 years deferred still on the table?
Yes, Judge, that was the original offer.
I'll just cross it out again and put 5 years deferred.
Okay.
Okay, so in that case, everything's signed up. I did already explain to Mr. Salinas because initially he wanted to take the 5 years. So I did go through the, what it entails. And so he is, aware of what that means. So if we can proceed accordingly.
We'll take that plea up shortly. 2021 DCR 2892, Cynthia Maricruz Hernandez. Ms. Serra, where's everybody at?
Ms. Serra is in, she had a hearing at 9, but in person. So she said as soon as she finished that one, she would log on.
You got that, Ms. Hernandez? Ms. Hernandez, unmute yourself.
I heard that. Thank you.
Okay. How about Mr.
That where Mr. De La Fuente, let me find out.
Mr. De La Garza?
Mr. De La Garza was gonna log on right after magistrate. He had magistrations all week long.
Salvador Torres here. Okay. That's a DC one?
Yes, here, Judge.
Is there,
All right, well, I guess we have to wait for people to get to.
Carrizales, you want to be excused? Carrizales.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, you want to be excused?
Yes, I'm done with our defendant already, correct?
Which was your defendant?
It's gonna be Sina's Evan.
Yes, we have a plea on that one.
We haven't pled him yet.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Carrizales, can we have Ivan Salinas on the screen, please?
Yes, one. They ain't done what you. All right.
Mr. Salinas, did your attorney explain this paperwork to you?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have any questions for your attorney?
No, ma'am.
And is this your signature?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you, sir.
I don't know how to do that. You know? Where's my- I don't know what's going on. Evan Salinas. Which one
Raise your
are
right
you? Raise your right hand. Raise your right hand.
Can you unmute him, Carrizales? Carrizales, can you unmute Mr. Salinas, please? Thank you. Do you solemnly swear from the testimony given to be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Sir?
Yes,
Any
ma'am.
words? Thank you. Put your hand down.
All right. Is that your true and correct name, Evan Salinas?
Yes, sir.
All right. Your attorney tells me you wish to enter a plea of guilt to certain charges. What are they? What are you telling me you did?
An aggravated assault deadly weapon, sir.
Yeah, do you understand that that's a violation of a second-degree felony in the state of Texas, which calls for confinement in prison for a term of not more than 20 years or less than 2? In addition, I can impose a fine not to exceed $10,000. Are you aware of that?
Yes, sir.
And are you doing this freely and voluntarily?
No, sir.
You're not doing this freely and voluntarily.
Well, what do you mean by that,
Are you
sir?
doing it freely and voluntarily? Is it something you want to do because you want to do it?
Oh, yes, sir.
All right. Mr. Gallo, is it necessary to rearrange Mr. Salinas?
It is not, Your Honor. He's aware of the charges.
understanding what you're pleading guilty to, what criminal offense, understanding what the range of punishment. I'll now ask you, Mr. Salinas, in cause number 2021 DCR 2459, what is your plea to the charges of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon? Guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
Are you a citizen of the United States?
Yes, sir.
Are you pleading guilty because you're in fact guilty and for no other reason?
What do you mean by that, sir?
Well, are you pleading guilty because you are guilty, period?
Oh, yes, sir.
All right. Are you pleading guilty out of any persuasion of fear, hope of pardon, force, threats, or promises of any kind? Is that what?
No, sir.
All right. Have you ever been in a mental hospital or treated by a doctor for any mental disorders?
No, sir.
All right. Mr. Delgadillo, you find Mr. Salinas competent and able to assist any defense he may have?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. I am going to, is Mr. Salinas here in front of me with a clean record except for this assault, this aggravated robbery, or does he have a past?
He doesn't have any history, Judge.
All right. Well, then the court will be inclined to accept the agreement, and the court will not go over the admonishments of rejection of a recommended sentence, because the court has signal and inclination to accept a recommended sentence in this case. So the court's going to find that his plea of guilt is freely and voluntarily made, and he's competent to stand trial. Ask the state to produce evidence to substantiate the plea in this case.
State offers exhibits 1, 2, and 3 into evidence.
We have no objections, Your Honor.
It'll be admitted. Mr. Salinas, I have in my hand a set of documents. As you can see, they're all documents related to your case. This case we're talking about. It consists of 3 exhibits. Exhibit number 1 is a 9-page document, and on page 7, exhibit number 1, there's a signature line. Not there appears there. Is that in fact your signature, Mr. Salinas?
Yes, sir.
All right. Mr. Salinas, when you signed this document, were you aware that in these documents you were waiving your constitutional right to remain to a jury trial, your constitutional right to remain silent and not to incriminate yourself, and your constitutional right to confront your accusers? Are you aware you were waiving those constitutional rights when you signed this document?
Yes, sir.
All right. Further, Mr. Salinas, were you aware that you have agreed with the prosecution that exhibits 2 and 3, not 1, but 2 and 3, are true and correct copies of the arrest reports, the offense reports, the incident reports, and the lab reports that were generated as a result of your arrest, the reason you're pleading guilty to me this morning? Is that in fact your informal agreement with the prosecution that there are true and correct copies?
Yes, sir.
All right. In that case, I'm going to find that you have voluntarily and intelligently waived your constitutional and statutory rights and the evidence offered by the state to substantiate your plea. The court accordingly, having previously signaled his acceptance of the recommended sentence, hereby sentences Mr. Salinas to 5 years deferred adjudication probation. Mr. Salinas, I want you to ingrain this in your head this morning.
Yes, sir.
You have committed a very serious offense. This is probably one of the worst offenses you can commit in your young age.
Yes, sir.
Therefore, I'm going to demand and require you to follow each and every condition of probation I'm going to give you, because if you don't, this 5 years deferred, it's a two-sided coin. The positive side of it says that if you complete your probation, as I am going to require you under the conditions I'm going to impose, if you do everything I ask you to, this case will be ultimately dismissed against you.
Yes, sir.
You will not be on your record, and you will not be having to justify this to future employers or future applications, wherever you may be going.
Sure.
That's the good side.
Mhm.
The bad side is if you do not do it, then you've given me the ability to sentence you to 20 years in the penitentiary. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
All right, let's go. Then Mr. Cortez,
Yes, Your Honor.
listen up, Mr.
The defendant will remain arrest-free?
No more arrest. That's number 1, Mr. Salinas.
Yes, sir.
If a pair of handcuffs hits those wrists of yours again while you're on probation, you have just violated my very first condition. And keep in mind, it doesn't matter to me whether you're guilty of whatever you've been arrested for. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Alcohol and drug evaluation,
Yes, sir.
anger management,
No.
aggressive behavior caseload,
Yes.
GED, high school diploma,
You have it?
No, sir.
How far did you go to school?
Until ninth grade, like
Why did you drop out?
at the age of 14.
Why did you drop out?
Oh, it's because I kept messing up. I mean, I didn't have like I had no one to like to pump me up to go to school because I would keep on messing up. And I always went to like a second alternative center.
Well, I'm gonna ask you to give it a shot to get your GED.
Yes, sir.
Make an earnest effort because it might not open a big door, but it open a door
Yes, sir.
for employment for future because this is not a good way to roll at your life, Mr. Salinas. You're
Yes, sir.
and you need to straighten out right now because life is gonna get really difficult for you if you continue to be on this road. Do you
Yes,
understand
sir.
that?
Yes, sir.
Cortez,
yes, Your Honor.
that will be required. We'll ask him to make an effort to get his GED while he's on probation.
Yes, Your Honor.
Anything else?
Maintain gainful employment,
Yeah, if possible, yes. What do you do when you were not getting in trouble? Were you working?
No, sir.
You need to find a job,
Yes, sir.
all right?
Yes, sir.
Go ahead, Mr.
no
Cortez.
contact with family,
What?
no contact with the victim. I'm sorry.
Well, yeah, I mean, I hope not. You're not gonna go around the person you attempted to assault with an aggravated weapon,
No, sir.
all right?
Random UAs,
Yes,
breathalyzer,
no,
restitution if any,
Benny.
and that'll end with us here for now, Your Honor. I just need a phone number from him.
Mr. Salinas, give me a phone number where the probation people are going to be able to find you 24/7. What is the number?
956-778-0444.
Thank you.
All right. Court will give him 180 days to pay the court cost.
Yes, sir.
All right, I see other people on the screen here.
Thank you, Judge. May I be excused?
Yes, sir. Have a good day. All right, I called out 2021 DCR 523 Ruben Sandoval, Ms. Martinez.
April 11th.
Good morning, Your Honor. Gabriela Martinez for Mr. Ruben Sandoval. I don't believe that he is logged on. I did not see him. I know that I gave him very late notice since I was sick and I just missed it.
Ruben Sandoval? No, he's not here. What do you want to do?
I'd like for KPS to be just not given today and maybe perhaps get a plea for tomorrow, for next week. It
No,
is going to be a plea.
I can't do that unless you assure me that you have control of your client. So
Yes, Your Honor.
I'm gonna let you get off the thing, find him, and you tell him when you can bring him in, and we'll set it up.
Okay. Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. 2020 DCR 906, 2021 DCR 1208, and 2021 DCR 1466, all on the state of Texas versus Hector Quiroga, Mr. De La Fuente.
Yes, Judge, good morning. I've been talking with Mr. Ariola about these cases. I think we're very close to a deal. If we could have maybe a couple of weeks to sort out the details, we'll have it resolved.
Caranda,
The state has no objection, Judge. These cases should be all worked out.
how long do you all need to work them out?
I'm asking for 2 weeks, Judge.
Give me 2 weeks for the Quiroga matters, all three cases. Is he in custody, Mr. De La Fuente?
Yes, he's in custody, Your Honor.
Yes. The 19th.
419,
April. Okay.
419, Judge?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you, Judge. I have one more, but he's not in custody.
Yeah, you do. 2012 DCR 1760, Thomas Craig Lopez. Ms. Jimenez. What are we gonna do with this guy? It's a community service and it's paying me the money and we've extended him like 3 times already.
Yes, good morning, Your Honor. Mr.
Which-
Lopez already finished, I'm sorry, Mr. Lopez already finished the community service. He paid off the balance that he had here on probation. The only thing that is pending, Your Honor, is $301 for the court costs.
Judge, my understanding was the court costs were going to be waived.
Well,
It was
yeah,
a fine,
we
Your
get
Honor.
that understanding.
It was
Well,
a fine that
I
was paid.
represent him on the underlying case, but he tells me that during one of the extensions, the court costs were waived, so he could pay restitution. He paid full restitution, and I think there's a
that might be
$300.
right, Jimenez. Do you have
I'm
a
sorry,
record of that? I think that might be right, that the court costs were waived.
No, sir, it was the fine that was waived. It was
Oh, it was the
$2,000
fine.
that was waived. The
I
court
waived the
cost was
fine.
not waived.
Well, there was an issue with he paid more in restitution than was required, and they were going to give him credit. Ms. Jimenez knows about that. She's been discussing this with the district clerk's office.
Is that correct,
She
Mr.
could
Jimenez?
advise the court.
Your Honor, what happened on this case is that when they did the waiver of the fines, the clerk waived, she gave the $2,000 credit, not just on the fine. She went in ahead and paid off the $301 spending on the court cost and left a balance of $301 on the fine. So the error was already corrected, and I told Mr. Lopez that he still owed that money, the $301 on the court cost, and they already corrected on the screen on the system on the county clerks. I mean, at the district clerks. So he does have a balance of $301 on the court cost, and he was given full credit for the fine of $2,000.
Okay, Judge.
I
was not aware.
I don't think that that's a serious matter. He's paid the critical one, the restitution, right? He's paid restitution.
Correct.
He's paid a restitution and some fine. Before I waived it, they had already paid some fine.
The fine was waived. He didn't pay anything on the fine, Your Honor.
What did he pay on? The restitution?
Well, here he paid off everything on this case. The restitution, let me tell you how much he paid.
Ahorita voy. ¿Está ahí o no?
Sí, está planeando. ¿Ahorita se viene?
Your Honor, on this case, on the 2012, there was no restitution paid. It was PSI fee, probation fees, and drug test fees.
So it's current with all of that.
Yes, he already paid off his balance.
Mr. Lopez,
Yes, Your Honor.
can you come up with half of that?
Yes, I can.
Okay, when can you come up with it?
Actually, I can have it by Wednesday, by tomorrow.
All right, well, I'm gonna order him to pay half of what he owes right now, and then I'm gonna condition on that, he will be released from probation.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Got that, Mr. Jimenez?
Yes, Your Honor.
So if you don't pay it, you're still on probation. So I'm gonna reset this thing until I find out you paid it. And once I pay, then instead of resetting it, I'll dismiss it.
Okay, no, I'll have it done by tomorrow for sure.
All righty. Okay, that will be the order of the court. The court will not release him from probation. We'll reset this matter for Thursday morning. And at that time, we'll follow up. If he's paid it, then the court will deal with it accordingly. Okay?
Sounds good. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Mr. De La Garza, I saw you on the screen.
Yes, Judge, I'm here.
All right, what are we doing? You ready for a plea on Salvador Torres?
That's correct, Judge. We have a plea ready and set for you.
Is Ms. Serra here with us? All right. Sergeant Klein is here, or was here earlier. Hernandez.
Oh, there he is. That's him.
All right. Do your magic with Mr. Torres.
Okay, Salvador Torres,
Yes, ma'am.
did your attorney explain this paperwork to you?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have any questions for your attorney?
No, ma'am.
And is this your signature?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Yeah, listen, I have a docket control hearing today. Must come here in the 103rd. I'm gonna run in there real quick and take care of what she's got right now, and then I'll come right back. Is that all right? Huh? Yeah, status here, I'm sorry. Thank you.
Mr. Torres, raise your right hand, please. Do you solemnly swear the testimony given will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
I'm gonna take our. Well, it was a docket control order, but the normally it's not part of this thing.
All right, this is cause number 2022 DCR 550, State of Texas, Salvador Torres. Is that your true and correct name?
Yes, sir.
All right. Your attorney tells me you wish to enter a plea of guilty to certain charges in the indictment. Please tell me what it is that you're telling me you're guilty of.
Burglary of habitation.
Do you understand that's being reduced to a Class A misdemeanor, which calls for confinement in the county jail for a term of up to 1 year? In addition, I can impose a fine to exceed $4,000. You realize that?
Yes, sir.
Are you doing this freely and voluntarily?
Yes, sir.
All right. Mr. Mesa to rearrange Mr. Torres, Mr. De La Garza.
No, Judge, it's not.
All right. Mr. Torres, understanding what you are pleading guilty to, what criminal offense, understanding what the range of punishment, and I asked you, what is your plea to the charges of burglary of habitation reduced to a Class A misdemeanor? Guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
Are you a citizen of the United States, sir?
Yes, sir.
Are you pleading guilty because you're in fact guilty and for no other reason?
Yes, sir.
Are you pleading guilty out of any persuasion of fear, hope of pardon, force, threats, or promises of any kind?
No, sir.
Have you ever been in a mental hospital or treated by a doctor for any mental disorders?
Yes, sir.
When was that?
I don't remember exactly when, but it was when I was a minor.
Okay. Are you currently under treatment for that mental illness?
I do take medication, but I do take medication right now.
Did you take some this morning?
No, I take it in the afternoon at night.
All right. Is the fact that you're taking medication for this condition in any way inhibit or your ability to understand what you're doing here this morning?
I do know what I am doing this morning, sir.
Okay, that's fine. All right. What is the plea agreement in this case?
Judge, the plea agreement is 1 year county jail for him to serve on a lesser included criminal trespass Class A.
Mr. Torres, you pled guilty to criminal trespass Class A misdemeanor, correct?
Yes, sir.
That was reduced from the original charge of burglary of habitation. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
When I asked you earlier if you were guilty of that, I was asking you, were you guilty of criminal trespass? Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
All right. With respect to the recommended sentence, Mr. Torres, what you need to know is that the decision whether to go along with it or not is totally up to me. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
If I decide for some reason not to go along with it, I'll let you know, and I will tell you that you have a right to withdraw your plea of guilty. Take it back as if you were not doing it this morning. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
The flip side of that coin is if I accept it, if I do follow that recommendation, you may not appeal your case without the court's permission, except as to any pretrial motions Mr. Lagaza may have filed on your behalf prior to the day. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
All right, in that case, I'm gonna find you plea of guilty, it's freely involuntary made, and your competent trial has to state to produce evidence to substantiate the plea.
State offers exhibits 1, 2, and 3 into evidence.
No objections, Your Honor.
It'll be a minute. Mr. Torres, I have in my hand a set of documents that are referred to as a plea packet. All these documents in this packet of documents are matters that are related to this case, what we're doing here this morning in your case. They consist of 3 exhibits. Exhibit number 1 is a 9-page document, and on page 7 of exhibit number 1, there's a signature line, and there's a signature already on there. I want to make sure that that in fact is your signature. Is that your signature, Ms. Torres, on page 7 of exhibit number 1?
Yes, sir.
All right. Torres, were you aware that when you signed these documents, in these documents, you were waiving, giving up your constitutional rights, such as your right to a jury trial, your right to remain silent, not to incriminate yourself, and your right to confront your accusers? Were you aware that in signing this document, you waived those rights?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Torres, further, with respect to exhibits 2 and 3, is it correct that you have a stipulated agreement with the prosecution that those 2 exhibits are true and correct copies of the arrest reports, the incident reports that were generated as a result of your respective arrest, the reason you're pleading guilty to criminal trespass this morning? Is that in fact your agreement that they are true and correct copies?
Yes, sir.
All right. I guess I'm gonna find you have voluntarily and intelligently waived your constitutional and statutory rights, and the evidence offered by the state does substantiate your plea. The court accordingly will find you guilty of criminal trespass, class A misdemeanor. The court hereby will follow the recommendation, hereby sentences Mr. Torres Salvador Torres to confinement in 1 year of county jail, criminal trespass, credit for any time served. Anything else?
Nothing further, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Hey, sir, so what, I gotta do 4 months?
I don't know. You gotta talk to your attorney about that.
You should have your credit. You probably have a couple of weeks to go, but you should have mostly all of it, okay?
Okay, thank you, I appreciate it.
Judge, I think that concludes all my business before the court. May be excused.
Yes, sir. Have a good day.
Thank you.
Ms. Martinez. Ms. Martinez.
She's not on, Judge. You told her to get off and call her client.
Well, I mean, to get off the screen, I mean, to mute it, not to get off, not to go home.
Well, I think she was on her phone on Zoom, so she would have to hang up to call.
Oh. Do we have a, Ms. Solis, do we have a line on Ms. Martinez? Did she find her client so that way we can take some action here? And what's the story with Ms. Serra? Still tied up in a live hearing? Ms. Hernandez, her client, is here.
Let me text Ms. Martinez. I know that Ms. Serra had called Estela.
Stella, what did Ruth Serra say? No, well, it's like a Monday. What do I have tomorrow? Do I have a lot? That's it? I only have 3 civil cases tomorrow? No, actually, I want to start earlier. 7:30. They'll give me another opposition. I know.
She says she couldn't find him. You want her to log back on?
Yeah, because we're gonna call, we'll do a case. Well, tell her I'm gonna do a capus. And then if she finds them, brings them in, then we'll lift the capus.
Okay, she says she's signing back on.
Mr. Rivera.
Yes,
call
Your
up,
Honor.
Ruben Sandoval.
Yes, Your Honor. No answer, Your Honor. He was called 3 times and there was no answer.
State asks that KPS be issued, bond be forfeited, bond be set to no bond, and judgment in eyesight be issued in favor of the state.
Okay. Ms. Martinez,
Yes, Your Honor.
we're gonna go ahead and capus, and what I'll tell you is if you find them, bring them in, and we'll lift the capus.
Okay, yes, Your Honor. And if I do find him, I'll go ahead and bring him over.
Yeah, you need to bring them over so we can lift the capus. The capus big granite. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
What was gonna be your announcement on that one anyway?
It's going to be a plea. It's a plea to time. So I had asked that this plea be done in person so that he could be taken into custody as soon as he pleads and is found
Well,
guilty.
if you find him, we'll reset it for, Ms. Solis, set it for person, in-person hearing, okay?
Yes.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, well, we only have one, Ms. Serra.
Let me page her, maybe because she
Tell
has.
Moy.
Yes, Your Honor.
Can you run your traps and see if you can locate Ms. Serra anywhere in the courtroom and see where she at and all that?
Yes, sir.
Give us, nada?
No, Judge, nobody has seen her.
Wow. He's not here. Let's get on back on the record. On 2021 DCR 2892, Maricruz Hernandez. Ms. Hernandez, unmute yourself, please.
Yes, sir.
Hernandez, I don't know what to tell you, but we can't find her. We can't find your attorney. We've looked for her in the courthouse. We've called her. She won't answer her phone. So the only thing I can tell you is we don't know what's going on. Maybe she's going through a crisis. Something happened. It's not like she's usually pretty dependable. She's usually here on time. So something's going on. I don't want to keep you waiting, and I don't want to wait either. So I want to reset this for tomorrow to take care of it. Okay.
God.
Although you tell me what the issue is, I don't want you to go and slap your forehead over this. What's the problem? It's not my fault. It's not your fault. Not anybody's fault. I don't know what's going on, but we need to reset it. We can't.
She's always resetting me all the time. She's always resetting me. This is already like the 7th or 8th time that she reschedules me or resets me because she doesn't have stuff ordered right or in order, or she's missing something, or some paperwork wasn't done, or she hasn't gone to the court, or there's always an excuse for this all the time. I have lupus, I have cancer.
Did she submit a plea papers, Ms. Solis?
Yes, she did. She did like last week or a week before. So it's been on the docket for a
It's a
while.
matter of where she's at right now, because I can't proceed without her. She's got the plea papers before us. Ms. Ramirez. Ms. Ramirez,
Yes, Judge.
do you have the plea papers for Ms. Hernandez?
Yes.
Can you go ahead and give her the admonishments right now?
Her attorney's not on the screen.
Huh?
We usually have them with the attorneys. Do that with their attorney present.
Oh, yeah. Well, we need her presence for everything. I don't know what to tell you. We're looking for her. We're calling her office. We're calling her cell. I've looked for her in the courthouse and she's not here. Miss, do you have her? Do you have Sarah on the line? Did you try calling her back and she didn't pick up? I don't know, Ms. Hernandez.
Is there any way that if you are going to reset me, can you reset me for next week? I do have my chemotherapy
Yes,
this week.
I will accommodate you.
That's fine.
You just need to tell me. I don't want you to get stressed out over this. So, we can work it out. So if this is a matter that you couldn't do tomorrow, then you just need to tell me. Don't stress out. We can work with you, okay? This is not your fault. This is not my fault. I don't know what's going on, but we're gonna find out together why she wasn't here.
Okay.
All right, so when next week is it good for you?
Any day, as long as it's next week.
Miss Solis, when do you want to set her for?
We could set it for next Tuesday.
Next Tuesday, Miss Hernandez?
Yes, that would be fine.
Okay, we'll get notice to you and everything so you can get back online and we can take care of this, okay?
Okay, thank you so much, Judge.
Have a good day.
You too, thank you.